you remember the original gun clap, man? Now heads is like, what the fuck happened? They say keepers of the hood started napping. Then Poonie boys got up and started rapping. Remember ciphers, gobble goats, cats like Pac-Man. DJ Bricks, go cut the wax, man. Things ain't the way they used to be. They touring the country on some mistaken identity. And these cats out here ain't even hungry. Fags ought to be auditioning for Glee. Time to shoot the stork, the rest get aboard.
Yo, what's going on, everybody out there in Radio Land? Of course, you know you listen to the Global Network right here on HotlineRadio.net. I'm your host, Keith Harris. Once again, want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today. Right now, coming up, all the way from Toronto, Canada, wonderful dude, wonderful artist, wonderful president of a company, known this man for a long time. Big shouts out to him and his whole staff, as a matter of fact. His LP is dropping today on Halloween. Halloween, as a matter of fact, y'all. So without further ado, in the building, we got my man Bumpy Kinks, president and artist of Illmoretv Records. What's going on, Bumpy?
Hey, what up, y'all? What up? What up, Sam? Thanks for having me on the show. I want to say what up to all my people out there listening in that are tuning in for this interview. It's a big day today, man. Thanks for having me on here.
Hey, no doubt, man, no doubt. You know what? And it's kind of groovy too, man, because I know like the style of your album, you know what I'm saying? You kind of got me, because the style of your album dropping on Halloween Day like that. And you got songs like the 7 Deadly Sins, and you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, it's kind of right on time with it, right?
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't originally the plan. The plan wasn't a full-on marketing plan like, let's push this for Halloween at first. Yeah. But then as the album, the mixing of the album and the videos were getting done, and Halloween was right around the corner as I was getting ready to put it out. So when I looked at the theme of the album, I just said it would tie right in perfectly with a Halloween release, covering the 7 Deadly Sins. It's a real concept album. I think people are gonna really enjoy listening to this and taking this album in. It's a throwback for sure. It's definitely a throwback album to that golden era type of hip hop, storytelling and whatnot.
Yeah, and the game is kind of missing that golden era touch too. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah, music has kind of changed. So to talk about Illmoretv, just to let the people know a little bit about Illmoretv, where did Illmoretv come from? I know B-Lo, Buffalo. Shouts out to the whole B-Lo too. You know what I'm saying?
Illmoretv.
Yeah. For like Illmoretv, Fillmore Ave, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. No doubt. So
yeah, that's my stomping grounds. Actually, with Illmoretv is me and my brothers. My one brother,
right.
E-Class. Shout out to E-Class, is working on his LP right now as we speak, coming out later on this year. But me, E-Class, and one of our other brothers who's featured on some of the Illmoretv projects, Lucci, we kind of, it was like Illmoretv was kind of our brainchild. And since we're from there, we're from B-Lo. If you go back to the first Illmoretv mix album, that street album that dropped, it was Twin Cities, B-Lo to T.O. That's kind of like how we've always kind of done it, because both places we considered home, B-Lo and T.O. So with the name Illmoretv, it was just kind of like showing love to the place that brought us up, where we came from, So it kind of like ties it all in together. Got mad love for all my people down there. Sycamore, Bailey, Illmoretv. Love all y'all. Shout out to B-Lo, yeah.
Hey man, you bringing me back talking about all them places, Sycamore. I used to live in B-Lo myself, right on Person Street. You know what I'm saying?
For real, yeah. I know exactly where that's
at. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So shout outs to all them down there in the Arab store in the corner, man. I miss Broadway and all that, man. No doubt.
The treats, man, up in the store, that's the spot,
Yeah.
B-Lo's got a lot of characters, so
yeah,
that's home,
So before we get into the music, how long have you guys been working? How long has Illmoretv been alive? Illmoretv Records.
for a minute. And as far as like actual structure, as far as like functioning like a company, this is probably newer. Probably, I would say, when it became official was the drop of the first Illmoretv street album that dropped in '09, which was the Twin Cities Below the Tio.
Okay.
Below the Tio, the underground route.
Okay.
That was in '09, but prior to that, like we were pretty much, me and a lot of the people we work with on Illmoretv as like fam team that we came up here on both sides, T.O. and Below.
Right.
And Toronto and Buffalo for all y'all. And you know, it started out with the little freestyles and you know, mixtapes,
Yeah.
4-track tapes and stuff, and it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah.
So we realized this is something we wanted to do and that we had the talent to do it, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, I asked that question, you know, just to really let everybody out there know that, you know, I'm down with Illmoretv as well and been down with these fellas for a long time. I think, what, man, like, damn, I don't know, man, like, what, 15 years, 12, something like that.
Back.
Yeah.
We're going back.
You know what I'm saying?
And we're waiting. We're still waiting for that Keith Harris album to come out under that Illmoretv label. I got the tracks here on my hard drive.
That's
I was
right.
bumping it the other night.
Yep, they the only.
Let your listeners hear that.
You know what? That I know. I ain't even leaked none of that to them yet, right? That's the let everybody in Radio Land know that is the only Illmoretv are the only people who have any of the Keith Harris tracks. That's really exclusive right there, man. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You know what I'm saying?
If y'all want to check, if y'all want to really hear your man Keith Harris, you listen to him all the time. You go to the Illmoretv site right now. You can download the second Illmoretv mix street album, which was Illmoretv Reloaded. Keith Harris is right on there.
Yeah.
You got one track on there, and you're actually on the upcoming Illmoretv compilation that's dropping later this year, probably in December. It's called Audio Shrapnel. So that's the next Illmoretv album after this one that's dropping today, and Keith Harris is all over it. So y'all phone in, y'all write.
Yeah.
You listen to Keith Harris all the time, and y'all demand it. Let them know y'all want that Keith Harris Illmoretv album now.
That's right. Cause Bumpy the only one that's gonna be able to talk me into doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up.
Sure. We got a lot to discuss after this interview.
Word. Hey, so now, you know, talking about the LP, you know, I know there's some tracks off that, and we'll get into one of those in just a few minutes. As a matter of fact, let's jump into one of them right now. As a matter of fact, which one you want to go into first, bro?
Since we've been spending a lot of time talking about my stomping grounds, Buffalo, where Illmoretv got its start and stuff, why don't you cue up the Below Lives?
All right, that's what's up right here on Hotline Radio with my man Bumpy Kinks. You about to get a first taste of the Illmoretv flavor right here on Hotline Radio with Bumpy Kinks and your boy Keith Harris. Here we go. Below Lives.
It's 11 o'clock. You know where your children are. This is Channel 7's Eyewitness News.
That was Below Lives off the LP dropping today from Bumpy Kinks.
Yeah.
Bumpy, man, that's golden age music, like you say, man.
100, man. I'm hoping people are feeling it.
Yeah.
It's it comes from a real spot. Like Below Lives is exactly what it sounds like. Just showing mad love to our stomping grounds where we come from, but at the same time, it's kind of like as you listen to it, it's kind of like not only showing love to Below, but Below to me has like that kind of that vintage feel, like that kind of like forgotten spot,
Right.
and that kind of like the golden age of hip hop.
Right.
And you'll kind of like if you listen to the lyrics, you can kind of hear it's not just about Below, but it's kind of like harkening back to like what hip hop was to where it is now type thing. You know what I'm saying? And there's a video for that. that you guys are going to see later this year.
Oh, okay.
As well. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because in the beat, you know what I'm saying, as I listen to the beat itself, you know what I'm saying, there's that, like you said, there's that real hip hop knock to it. You see what I'm saying? And
For
it's
sure.
and it's got the vibe to it where it's got that. See, here's the thing about it. It's got that vibe to it where it's got the street vibe to it, but it's not. You know, it's that gutter, but it's that kind of street core kind of. It's the street corner kind of vibe to it, but then it's the knowledge kind of vibe to it. So it's that fruitful thought. You know what I'm saying, behind it at the same time, man.
For sure. That's how I've, like, with Bumpy Kinks, like, you get, I'm glad you touched on that. Like, with Bumpy Kinks, it's kind of like, I kind of, like, straddle that line, and that's kind of, like, I got a lot of hip-hop influences, but that's kind of, like, how you'll notice when you listen to my music, or the essence you hear from my music, you can tell that it's coming from there. It's coming from that real place, that real street place. But at the same time, you know, based on my influences, who I came up listening to, it's kind of like, I like that lyrical wordplay and kind of like, not just making people think, but at the same time, you know, I mean, saying something. Like, when I was coming up, it was the hip-hop songs to me that, where people were real witty or saying something. Because every song is saying something, but everybody ain't kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Playing with words and like painting a picture. You know what I'm saying? It's an art form now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, when
that's what I try to do.
When it comes to like the production and stuff like that, because I know, you know, I know you guys have an amazing production team. I know personally for myself. But who are some of the producers that you guys working with for the people?
Well, the primary ones that we're working with are, as I mentioned earlier, my brother E-Class.
Right.
He has his own stuff going on, but at the same time, he provides some of the production that you'll be hearing on upcoming Illmoretv projects. Some of the other big ones, which either y'all may have heard of or y'all will be hearing of soon, is my boy Abaddon.
Oh, yeah.
He put out, you know Abaddon.
Yeah,
he put out, he has a Illmoretv CD that he put out a couple years ago called Abaddon. You can also check that out on the Illmoretv website. He's one of the producers. And then there's two other guys, primary guys. There's this dude, A-Dub, which I think you may.
Yep.
He's done a lot of our production on upcoming albums. You'll hear some of his stuff on my LP that'll be coming out early next year, mine and AJ Fontaine's, which is called AJ Bumps More Ill. He did a lot of production on that, and my boy Einstein, he has some production along with Abaddon on this album, The Seven Deadly Sins, Stillborn Redemption. So all talented cats. There are other cats out there that kind of working with, but those are the main ones that I'm giving you. Those are the main guns right there. So
yeah,
and I'll shout out my boy Charlie Ray down in Bilo, mad love. So yeah, those are the main dudes.
Yeah, and you know, and like he say too, man, you know, big shouts out to Rob Abaddon and E-Dub, man, cause yeah, them cats is ill on the beats. You know what I'm saying? I still remember looking through the snippet CD that time. The picks and beats, and it was quite a few on there, man. The cats is geniuses, man.
He's mad talented, and you know, as we speak, you know, it's just kind of like it's a big day for me because I'm finally dropping my own solo joint. But at the same time, as we're talking about it, I'm working on a side project with Abaddon, which is going to be sort of like a video album type thing, more focused on the video thing. More of that coming up, but and it's all his production. So, you know, we're just a lot of hungry cats we're rolling with, and you know, the way we're seeing it, the game is kind of wide open. You know, kind of wide open right now. So we're just trying to get a foot in there because no one's kind of, you know, there's people who are running it right now, and we all know who they are.
Right.
But at the same time, no one's kind of doing it the way we're doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're real throwback with a lot of what we're trying to do.
And you know, it's changed, you know, because just in general, you know what I'm saying, the music has changed. You know, it's really changed a lot. You know, and you know, we talk about the music, and we've always talked about it for years. Now, I've noticed something that's been going on lately, and excuse me, I don't know if it has to do with the fact that there's not as many artists that are able to get to go mainstream. I don't know if it's got to do with record sales, but I don't know if you've noticed it, man. But I've noticed a lot of mainstream rappers are starting to join the battle rap leagues again. And if you recall, some years ago there was a mainstream, and then there was just the battle rappers, their own league.
You're right.
But I've been noticing like the main artists are starting to join battle raps again, and I'm trying to get a kind of understanding of how, like, is it going back to, is hip hop having to now start all over again because of the heavy change?
Good question.
Yeah.
Definitely a good question, man. It's a question we think about and we discuss all the time, me and you and everybody else who's been around the hip hop game for a minute. And in my opinion, I totally agree with you. I think it's on a vibe where, stuff gets, like with all music, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to knock no one's hustle as far as what's going on in the game now because, like it or hate it, everybody's going to have their opinion, but the cats who have come out in the last 10 years, they've raised the game has changed and they've raised the bar as far as the business perspective is concerned. I might not like all their music, but at the same time, it's kind of like they have helped the cats who have come out in the last 10 years as far as exposure, as far as like worldwide exposure, like helping build the hip hop global brand, that sort of thing.
Right.
Now I ain't feeling all of it, but they've all played a role. But now that we're kind of there, everything goes in cycles, in my opinion. So I think it's kind of like we're at that point now, and we're open to help spearhead that. And there's a lot of cats that I know that are out now that I enjoy listening to. You know what I mean? Underground,
right?
New York artists who are doing that sort of style. But I think it's slowly coming back because people are hungering for that real hip hop stuff.
Right.
And music nowadays don't give me that. Like, do you remember with some of the older stuff, you would listen to it, and I haven't got goosebumps from a track in how long, man?
Me neither.
Like, when it's so good. So it's been so long, and I think people are hungering for that type of music.
Right. And I feel the same way. Like nowadays, I can't really even turn on the radio and, like you say, get lost into a song. I mean, even to just take it back to the old DMX days, and that's not too far, because you can go back even farther than that. But for some of the cats who might be a little younger that just kind of remember the DMX days, man, even back in them days, like you could turn on the radio and listen to people like that, and like you say, you get goosebumps just from the stuff that they was talking about.
Oh yeah, excuse my mouth, but
no, you're
right. Yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah.
No, but for real, it was because it was real stuff then. Like DMX, talk about him because you brought his name up.
Yeah.
But real cat, he's part. I mean, like you said, he came out a bit later, like in the late '90s there. But to me, he was kind of like still part of that
era, right?
That era, yeah, making real music with that cat. He had, you know what I mean, a lot of thought-provoking stuff. I mean, he put his life down on the record. You know what I mean? And that's the way it was supposed to be done. Like,
that's it.
The stuff we came up on, like, whether you want to talk, like, you know what I mean, when we were talking, like I you know what I mean? I try not to, I know, like, there's good hip-hop that's come out of, like, every area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I primarily came up on the New York stuff.
I did
at
too.
The same time,
I did
yeah,
too.
so we all know the Nas's and the Woos.
Yeah.
But the first cat that made me fall in love with hip hop wasn't even East Coaster. You know what I mean?
Word.
It was my man Ice Cube. I mean, he was rocking on those East Coast beats.
Oh,
but the
man.
Bomb Squatted them off of his first joint, but
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like everybody, every area at that time was making dope music. You know what I mean? Whether you go down south and you had like Outkast and Goody Mob and them doing their thing, and out west, you know, with Death Row and them, it was just like, it was popping. It was just like, it was a fun time to make music.
Right.
I'm sure because everybody was kind of like, it didn't matter where you were from. Everybody was just putting out quality stuff. So,
right.
You know.
And you know, and we're going to play another song in a second, but you know, just to kind of say, like, there are some artists out here, you know, so, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, I can get nowadays from a couple artists mainstream, I can get the same spit flow that I might be a little bit used to, but they're just not, the content is just quite not the same. Like, some cats are spitting, but I can't, you know, everybody can't relate to $200,000 on the bar and, you know, Bentleys, you know, parked everywhere and roses, and, you know, like, it's just, so it's harder really for me, myself, speaking for myself, it's just a little harder for me to be able to relate to the hip hop. And again, that don't knock, you know, that don't knock, yeah, because I mean, if I'm going to the club, I'm going to party, okay, sure, you know what I'm saying? But you know, just on real life stuff is different. So, you know,
if you kind of like out doing your thing, you might want to hear some of that, but you know, it's more like it's almost corporate rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a completely different thing than, you know.
Exactly.
So I definitely feel you on that, man.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So now, okay, back to the LP, back to the Bumpy Kinks album. Again, for those that might just be tuning in, you're listening to the Global Network with your host Keith Hurst. We got my man Bumpy Kinks, president and artist of Illmoretv in the building. His LP drops today, Halloween. So he's in the. That's right, Halloween. You know what I'm saying? So you know you can think about that. Look, and some of these songs too. You know what I'm saying, can get you into the you know, bring you back to even just that spirit, man. Make you want to go put on the mask. I can't wait to hear the 7 Deadly Sins too. But we ain't gonna get into that one right now, unless you just want to. We'll get into one of the other ones. But for those that's just listening,
you can play since you brought it up. Go ahead with the title track. You can play that one, the 7 Deadly Sins. That's kind of like that almost ties the whole album together right there. I don't want to give too much of the album away because I want y'all to have to go and
buy
download. It's going to be free for a minute on the Illmoretv website, www.illmorerecords.com. Limited time, the album is going to be free. It's a concept album. You got to listen to the whole thing. It's a 2 CD set, so check it out. But my man Keith's going to play the track 7 Deadly Sins, which is the lead track off the album. Also, the video is going to be dropping for that tomorrow. Y'all can see that on Illmoretv up on YouTube, among other places. So, man, 7 Deadly Sins, a big tune.
All right, here we go. 7 Deadly Sins right here on Hotline Radio.
There are 7 deadly sins: gluttony.
You want to come take a look at this?
Greed.
No one touches anything.
Sloth, wrath, pride, lust, and envy. 7.
Mexican. It's the 7 Deadly Sins. The 7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah, that joint hot right there. That was a 7 Deadly Sins by Bumpy Kinks. Man, that beat hot, man.
For sure. You know, don't be, I know some people will hear the title of the song and, like, get, you know, worried and whatnot. Like, Halloween release, 7 Deadly Sins.
This man is evil.
What is he into? Trying to burn my CD or something? It ain't like that shit. I got something to say. Taking the CD, don't come to no conclusions of what the album's about because I'm talking about 7 Deadly Sins and stuff. You know, like Calvin Butts running over Ice Cube CDs.
In other words, don't try to play it backwards, y'all.
Thank you.
It does not do that. Okay.
It has a great concept to it, you know what I mean? And that's why it's called the whole album title is called Seven Deadly Sins, Stillborn Redemption. So it's like almost like a rebirth story, or like a evolution. How all of us, every day, all of us are evolving and changing. How you could be at one spot one day, and then 5 years from now, you're someplace completely different. Personal growth, you know what I mean? Ain't none of us perfect out here. All of us have seen dirt or been around dirt. So it's about like, maybe you were there at one point, but what are you going to do once you get out of that dirt? Like, where are you going to take yourself? And that's kind of like what the album's kind of speaking to. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of very autobiographical. So a lot of real stuff there still.
Right. And you know, like you said, that was a concept. Now let me ask you a question: where do you get your motivation behind these songs? Because these are songs that you write that are not just up in the air. They're not just about nothing. They're actually songs that have meaning to them. You know, without giving away your strategy, kind of what's your formula? Like, when do you know that it's time to sit down and write a song?
It comes from different places usually. Sometimes it's just you hear a beat and the beat's knocking and the beat's just, you know, starts to talk to you. And then, you know, and that's a motivator right there. It's just kind of like, there's no, for me anyways, there's no set way to how I write. Like sometimes I write my verses first. Sometimes I write my choruses first. Sometimes I just know what like based on the beat, what the title of it's going to be, and then I just kind of build from there. But there's usually different motivators with me. It's generally though more first an idea, you know. Like again, you know, I know we keep going back to it, but like with the type of hip hop that we came up on, and the type of hip hop that I got love for and will always have love for, it's they're saying something. You know what I mean? They're saying something. They're, you know what I mean, making you think. And to me, that's what makes good music. Now, I'm not saying that you can have like, you know, in the clubs type track. You know what I mean? Everybody feels those type of tracks too.
Right.
But at the same time, you know what I mean? I need bread and I need beef. You know what I mean? With my stuff.
Yeah.
Don't give me just. I don't want no 12. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
12 party track album. This ain't the disco era. You know what I mean? But that's just how I see it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I need both. You know, so
to make it well-rounded. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just more or less like that type of hip hop. And I just like, if you know, if to me, you know what I mean, money ain't a motivator. So you know, well, you know, money's always a motivator for everybody because we're out here trying to survive. But at the same time, when it just comes to the essence, as far as my love for the music's concerned, I do it because I do it. You know what I mean? Even if I have like a professional job or whatever, I could be doing whatever. I would always still be doing this. You know what I mean? So whether it's bringing in $1 million or a pack of cigarettes and a 40 from down the street, you know what I mean? It's just I have love for it, so it'll always be there.
Now, what's like, you know, let's talk about collaborations. Are there any collabos or anybody that is doing any tracks with you? I don't know, maybe not on this particular LP, but at all. Yeah, for sure. Well, like specifically, like in terms of Illmoretv projects, like most of the projects I've done have been like collabo type work, like the Illmoretv DJ Goldmine, shout out, that's our boy. Did the mixing on the first two Illmoretv CDs, Below the T.O., the Underground Route, and Illmoretv Reloaded. He did all the mixing and scratching and all that stuff on there. Those were all complete collabos. That's like you're getting all the Illmoretv artists on there. Myself, you're getting AJ Fontaine, you're getting X, Abaddon, E-Class, Haji, Keith Harris. Right.
You know, you're getting everybody. Everybody's up on those. And then, you know, but speaking specifically to my albums, like I was saying, my boy AJ Fontaine, who's on 3 of the tracks on this album. He's strictly on the hooks. On the Seven Deadly Sins, Stillborn Redemption, he's on 3 of the hooks that are on there. And I got a young singer who's heading up a rock band up here in Toronto. His name's Calvin Eberts. He's actually he's on one of the tracks. He's on one of the tracks as well. So those are the only collabs I have on this album, though. It's just strictly on the hooks. I had a concept in terms of what I wanted to do with the album, and I felt like having other MCs on there might take away from it. So I just kind of wanted it to be me, and then I added a little bit of flavor in terms of like singers on the hooks, that sort of thing. Right. So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That way people
it's fun, man.
That way people could get to that. Now, how have how have the people been receptive? Because I mean, I look on the social networks and I see you getting a lot of you're getting a lot of love on this. So I mean, how does that feel? To have the people behind you.
It feels good. It feels great, but I mean, I'm not satisfied, and I know in talking to some of my people or talking to my people daily about it, ain't none of us satisfied because we're hungry. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm a visionary, so I kind of know where this has to go or where this can go, and I'm nowhere near satisfied of where we're at now. Am I happy as far as what we're doing and the steps we take in? Hell yeah. Because there's a lot of people who haven't done a tenth of what we've done. You know what I mean? Like this will be the fifth project that's coming out through Illmoretv. We put a lot of videos out. We got a lot of hits up on the YouTube channel, Illmoretv, and we're growing. There's like about 4 or 5 projects that are done that are sitting in the can, ready to go. So it's just kind of like you just keep beating that drum, and like that love that we got now can keep multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. And we'll see where we are, a couple years from now. Right. So growth, got to keep growing.
Right, like you say, just really staying focused on the work ethic itself, and just kind of not worrying about what's going on around you. That's a good strategy.
100%. Right. And you work harder than the next person, and so a lot of time it ain't about the money or the backing that you got at first. If you can work as hard as the next person or 10 times harder than the next person, that's what you got to do. If you ain't got the resources, if you ain't got the $1 million budget that some of the labels are given, then you got to figure out how to do it yourself and do it smarter and do it in different ways. So
that is absolutely right there. You know what I'm saying? Like that makes a lot of sense, man. Lessons. Let's go into another track, Bumpy. Which one you want to go into next?
We'll go into there's a couple. I hope we got time for both. I got an Abaddon track there, and we got play the track I was telling you about with my boy the singer on it.
Is it the
Calvin Eberts.
Godless?
It's Daddy.
Yeah,
the name of this track. It's I'll tell you about it afterwards, but this is with that singer I was telling you about.
All right, we're going to put that on right now. Daddy Seas, right here on Hotline Radio with Keith Harris and Bumpy Kinks. Y'all listen and turn it up loud.
So much like you're gonna bleed. Who's gonna feed? Who's gonna lead? This is for the daddyless sins.
Why does he have fucking walls in prison? Him and mom fighting while you on. Whether I met you or not, you're the apple on my eye. Whether you're with me or not, or up in the sky.
Y'all just heard Daddyless Seas from Bumpy Kinks. Now that one right there got deep. Bumpy, tell us about that.
Yeah, that one's a little bit different. Not just like in terms of sound, but concept is wise. When you play that after Seven Deadly Sins, Completely different vibe. With that one, it's just kind of like talking about a lot of us, as we know, coming from you from DC, I'm from Belo. A lot of us come from that kind of like broken home,
Right.
or what I mean. We've all been around that. It's kind of like surrounds us in those neighborhoods. You know what I mean? The urban city America, even up here in Canada, a lot of the same stuff as well. So it's just kind of like speaking to that. You know what I mean? The kind of trials and tribulations and struggles that the young ones are going through. You know what I mean? With these one parent homes and that sort of thing. So I like that one. My man, as I said, Calvin Eberts was blowing on the hook on there. So I think it's a little bit different. He added a little bit of different flavor to that, but I just helped it brought the song alive even more. So a big track.
It did, man. We're gonna get into the next track. The next track, you got another track on here. That way we keep up with the time. We got another track on here called God. It starts out Godless. What's that track?
Okay, Godless, man. That's as we were talking earlier about my boy Abaddon.
Yeah.
Pick up the community Soul on Wax. Those are his production houses. He is an Illmoretv producer with his side production houses. He produced the track, and my boy, the other artist I had mentioned who's featuring on this, very talented cat, AJ Fontaine. He does it all. He raps, he sings, does some reggae. He has his own sound. I can't keep up with him. He does everything.
Right.
He probably hoops. You know what I'm saying? But anyways,
Yeah.
he does it all. But he's on the hook. He's on the hook on this one, and the track speaks for itself. It's called Godless, man. Big beat from Abaddon, big tune. Video for that one coming up as well, so look out for that one.
All right, here go Godless Man by Bumpy Kinks, right here on Hotline Radio.
And AJ Fontaine.
This is how we do. Illmoretv. What the hell is going on? 40 years later, front the Armada.
What's going to be your plan? You're gonna cross the land, surrounded by his own man.
That was Godless Man by Bumpy Kinks and AJ Fontaine right here on Hotline Radio. What'd you say, Bump?
Yes, big track. I love that one. Abaddon with the, giving that rock feel to that one. Really feel that one. But it's basically with that track, it's just it's what it sounds like. Godless Man. You know what I mean? It's just kind of you take in what we're saying lyrically there, and it's just it more or less really speaks for itself. You know what I mean? If you're moving in a certain way, then I'm calling you out. You know what I mean? We're basically calling you out on that one.
Right.
So it's just kind of like if you see through,
Then you see through.
you see through. Exactly.
Yeah. Word up. So now, all right. So just kind of go back, to back to the basics to go back over. So in a nutshell, what can people expect from this LP that's dropping when they go pick it up?
It's almost like going to see your favorite movie down at the theater, whatever movie y'all going to see this weekend. I don't know what the hell's out there right now, but
Right.
whatever movie you're gonna go see, it's kind of like you're getting. It's definitely a concept album where it's kind of like you're getting a storyline that's in the music is kind of like supporting it. So it's you're getting a little bit of everything. You're kind of like if you listen to me tonight, and you're intrigued by me and the Illmoretv story and all that. You know what I mean? You take in the album and it'll give you a little bit more about who I am, where I've come from, and where I'm going, that sort of thing. And I feel that's kind of like I said before, the album's just kind of like about growth fight in the dark. You know what I mean? We all need a hand up from time to time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
And you say that people will be able to go to the site today and look, y'all got a little while, like he said, to be able to download it. Personally though, you know, but make sure y'all go out and support and buy the album as well. Personally, I think he should make y'all go buy it, but okay. You know, like but it,
don't worry. It's only up there for a minute.
Oh,
it's
okay.
only up there for a minute, so if they want it this way, they're gonna have to run and get it. But if you get this one for free, then the next one, you know,
yeah,
y'all gonna have to cough up a little something for that. But if they go to the website www.illmorerecords.com, for a limited time you can download it free there, and you know, the SoundCloud sites, it's gonna be up on Bumpy Kinks and Illmoretv Records. You'll be able to check the tracks on there as well. So those are the primary spots, and then you can check for the videos from it on Illmoretv, up on YouTube, and then you know, follow us. You know, follow us. We be tweeting all the time at Bumpy Kinks. Is my own personal one, and the label is at Illmoretv Records. So follow us, keep track. You know, like I said, the album ain't gonna be free for long.
right.
You know, ain't nothing stay free for a long time out here.
It sure don't,
It's not this economy, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
follow us on the website and on Twitter, because when it's not free, and your man, and don't you dare go down the street and burn it from your man.
Right.
It's not free no more. Come to the website and find out how you can cough up. You know, I ain't some big record store down the street. We ain't gonna be charging $20 for the album. You know what I mean? Stay in touch with the website, and you know,
Right.
we're a growing company, and we want to continue to grow. And if you want us to continue to grow and to be able to provide you with music and product like this, then you know what I'm saying, just support it.
Right.
So,
And they can
I'm making music for y'all.
right, and they can also and like you say, the social networks that they can check you out and follow you is like Facebook, Twitter, and
Yep.
okay.
Facebook, definitely got the fan pages up on there. Again, Bumpy Kinks and Illmoretv Records right now. Of course, there'll be other ones for some of the other artists coming up, like you know, Bobby Jigs, AJ Fontaine, X, Abaddon, Lucci, like the list goes on. Keith Harris. Yeah, I said it. They're all going to be up on there, but we got the SoundCloud pages right now. Right now, again, it's just Bumpy Kinks and Illmoretv Records. The Twitters at Bumpy Kinks, at Illmoretv Records, Illmoretv TV. You know, Bumpy Kinks on Instagram. Like, we got all that stuff right now. So follow us on there. The main one is the website, though, illmorerecords.com. That's more or less the hub for us. You can kind of go there and kind of get links to all the other sites from there. And not only is it the music there and the videos, but we got the Illmoretv clothing line, you know what I mean? We got the t-shirts, the hoodies, the hats, all that stuff. So, you know, get your fill on the Illmoretv stuff, you know? I have to send my man Keith, you know, a hat or something.
Yeah, man.
Interview.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I posted on the social media the other day. I was holding up the Illmoretv joint, took everybody for a throwback. You know what I'm saying? From back
For
then.
sure.
Yeah. Hey, now who go ahead and do your shout outs, man. Go ahead, shout everybody out.
First all my people down in Below, you know what I mean? Gotta show mad love. All y'all who tuned in from Sycamore to Bailey, from Kent High, from all those areas down there. Riding on the 33 right now, maybe as we speak. I got love for all y'all.
Word.
Came up with y'all, got love for y'all. My TO people, you know what I mean, which is my second home. Got love for all y'all up here as well. You know what I mean, from east to west, you know, all over the city up here. City that's on the come up, as they're saying right now, we the north, whatever. And then, you know, all my people down south, you know what I mean? That's where my people come from Waverly, Alabama, all the way back on up to NYC. So I got love for everybody. All my people out there, you know who you are. I got love for y'all.
That's what's up. Bumpy, want to thank you for coming through. You know you family. You know you're welcome to come through anytime. So look, bring the whole crew too as their projects start to get ironed out and start to get put out. You know we're gonna keep you rotating on here already anyway, and and maybe maybe we'll leak that you know what out to the people. You know what I'm saying? Sometime soon.
You gotta let them hear that. Yo, y'all heard me right in, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Blow up this phone. We want the Keith Harris joint, yo.
Yeah.
The early preview, yo.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell some of them artists out there right now. If you want to stay safe, though, you might not want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, so
Is it game over?
Right.
Game over,
yeah, it might be game over for some of y'all artists out there. So you know what I'm saying? You might want to just wait till we put it out, because if you ask for death early, you might receive it. So you know, be careful. Oh, look, you got me talking greasy on the radio, Kurt. Man, that's crazy. But
you can have the new artist calling in. Yo, just interview me, man. Just interview me. Yeah, I don't want to hear that joint, yo.
Word up.
Fucking with my record sales right
Word
now,
up. You know what I'm saying? We control the boards all the way around, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but
For sure.
look,
We're gonna talk about that though.
all right. Look, man, much love for you coming through again. On behalf of myself, Global Network, Hotline Radio, and everybody, we appreciate you coming through. And we're looking forward to hearing from you again soon, my brother. And shouts out to Toronto, man. I'll be back up there soon too, man.
You got to. We got a lot of work to do up here, so we got to get you up here sooner than later. But mad love to you and your show.
Yeah.
Continued success. I've seen you growing with that, and yo, the man's a hustler, y'all. Just keep listening to him. This is a dude on the come up, you know. So keep doing your thing, man. I like watching what you're doing.
Hey, no doubt, man. You know, we started. I started out with y'all, man. So I really appreciate that, man. Like you say, this guy watched me. You know, this dude watched me. This dude Bumpy watched me really go through a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So he's somebody, you know, that can actually say he's seen, you know, me really stay on my grind, man. So I appreciate that coming from you, bro.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Let's keep the lines open and let's keep building.
All right, for sure. All right,
fam.
All right, peace out, y'all. Make sure y'all go cop the album. Get it now while you can. But then I'm forcing y'all to go buy it later on, man. Support the music. I'm all about that. Go support it. All right. Bumpy, we'll talk to you soon, my brother.
All right, fam.
All right, peace out.
All right,
One.
Peace.
That was Bumpy Kinks, president and artist of Illmoretv Records. Good friend of mine coming through. Make sure y'all go support him. Go support the whole movement below the TO, and then go support that new LP that's out now in the 7 Daily Sins. All right? And happy Halloween to all from me and the rest of us right here at Hotline Radio and the Global Network Show with your host, Keith Harris.
It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? This is Channel 7's Eyewitness News.
Pack jams, back when Rael and Chuck ran Def Jam. Who remember the original gun clap, man? Now heads is like, what the fuck happened? They say keepers of the hood started napping. Then Poonie boys got up and started rapping. Remember ciphers, gobble goats, cats like Pac-Man. DJ Bricks go cut the wax, man. Things ain't the way they used to be. They touring the country on some mistaken identity. And these cats out here ain't even hungry. Bags ought to be auditioning for Glee. Time to shoot the stork, the rest get aboard. We said y'all can't even carry the torch, so we'll use them to burn down y'all forts. $1 million rappers that snort get extorted.
502 yards. 51-3. Buffalo represents the AFC in Super Bowl 25. Buffalo represents.
Sad affairs watching the old school weep. They done sold they soul.